When I was doing my lesson plan number 7, I was doing the book. I was doing it over the book Mousetropolis, and the lesson topic is vocabulary. The TEKS I did 1.3 B and D, and those are both over vocabulary. The objective, we will use illustrations and text from the book Mousetropolis to clarify word meanings. On reflecting my activity from last week, I said I feel my lesson plan was effective. If I was teaching it, I would want to practice it more, use more detail-oriented sentences. I feel overall I did a lot better last week than the week before. Planning it, I'm going to use word maps and possible sentences as my activities. I feel these are both developmentally appropriate because it builds on our lesson plan from last week. And then I'm going to start with saying to my students, have you ever been on a vacation? Take a moment and raise your hands to tell me about a time you went on a vacation. Was your favorite part the food? That was the mouse in our book's favorite part of his vacation as well. Then I'm going to go into activity 1, which is direct instruction of the words, basically, that they do not know. The main topic of the book was the vacation of the mouse. The words that I wanted to give a little background on first was wee, nibble, jamboree, provolone, and dangerous. And then I kind of go into asking the students, do they know what each of these words mean? So I would say, does anyone know what wee means? Yes or no. They would say what they think it means, and then I would tell them, yes, that's correct, no, it's not. And then I'd go on saying wee means little or small. I would then read the sentence from the book that has this word in it to give them an example of it. I would do this with every word. Like nibble means tiny bites. Jamboree is a type of party. Provolone is a type of cheese. Dangerous means it could physically hurt you or somebody else. And then I would read those sentences from the book to give them an example in their head. Then as a class, we would talk about these words. I will ask students what each word means and see if they remember, which was just a few minutes ago, so hopefully they will. And then I'll ask a few to read these words in a sentence. So they have to come up with a sentence on their own and say it out loud. And obviously it's like volunteering, and if they don't volunteer, then I'll call on a couple of students. These students will listen to the definitions of these words. I already read them, JK. And then the second activity, I did word maps. I went and said, I will show everyone how to do the first activity. I'm taking a word from our list, such as dangerous. I will print this in the center box of a word map. According to Jack, an example of something that is dangerous is ice skating. I'm putting this in the box titled example on our map. An example of something that is not dangerous could be sleeping. We will put this in the non-example box. Deadly is a word that means almost the same as dangerous. It could be used in the place of the word dangerous. So we will call this a synonym. We'll put it in that box. And then I go on to say that safe is a word that means the opposite of deadly, and we'll put it in the anonym box. And then I will pair them up, and I kind of put somebody that's advanced working with a student that's not advanced, just so they can kind of equal each other out and help each other. One can teach the other, and then the other can give the advanced student something to work on. And then they will create their own word map in pairs, and then we'll kind of like discuss it as a class. I will discuss, what words they used, maybe get a student or two to come up to the board and draw it out. And then while they are working in pairs, I'll be walking around the room, seeing if anybody needs help, stuff like that. The third activity I did was possible sentences. I will add in a few words from the book that the students are likely to know, along with a list of words they do not really know. I will write these on the board. The words I chose were downtown, vacation, country, wedge, and hurried. I will list these words plus the unknown words on the board. The words on the board were in the selection we already read. And then I'll say, please raise your hands and share your knowledge of each word. As a class, the students will say what they think each word means. The students will then be paired up, probably with a different partner, but I want to use the same concept of using an advanced and non-advanced. and then they'll select 2 or 3 words from the list on the board. They will have to make up one sentence that contains at least 2 of the words. And then I'll, be walking around, observing, seeing if anybody needs extra help. The materials I used was the book from online, and I added my website in there, and then just whiteboard and markers. To simplify, like if I needed to simplify this for a struggling student, I will have the student who's struggling with an advanced partner, or I will help them individually. I will give them the definitions instead of them trying to figure it out on their own. To extend this, I will have the student come to the board and teach the class. I will also pair the student up with the student who's struggling. So overall, I feel like I did pretty good, so we'll see.